Hi everyone, and welcome to Let's Win, where you'll receive God-filled encouragement that will help you live and lead with a victory mindset. I'm so excited today. I've got something special planned for us today. As many of you know, my heart is to really encourage us as women to live in victory and to live like the women God has called us to be, to thrive and to flourish in every area of our lives. So today I've got a special guest to encourage us. We want to encourage you with real stories of real women in our community, in our church, that have walked a road of faith, that have walked in obedience, and that is still walking a process, walking a journey of faith. Today I want to introduce to you Marijke.
Hello,
welcome.
Thank you.
So good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, and many of you may know her, but when I think of Marijke, I think of someone who's content with life and always living in gratitude and always grateful for where she's at. But when I see her, I know she's always contending for something more. There's always something she's trusting the Lord for. She's always having faith for the miraculous, something that,
Not always by choice, but
well, you are choosing to walk.
I'm choosing, to walk in faith.
Exactly. So, Marijke, tell us just in a couple of sentences, who are you? What makes you excited? What do you do? Tell us about your family. Yeah.
Okay, so I am married to Dylan, and we've got 3 kids, Ricardo and Nathan and Ava, and then we also have Christopher in heaven.
Yes.
And we've got 4 dogs.
Part of the family?
Part of the family. And I'm also the owner of a preschool, Liefnis Vote, that I've started. But that has been a great challenge in my life. But for me, to see children flourish and children to struggle with something, and then to see that face where they come right and they succeed in something gives me so much purpose.
Wow.
And my heart is also very much for our community.
Yes.
Since I've had the school, I've seen there is a immense need for restoration in our communities.
Yeah.
And we see people, but we don't know what's going on behind. Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, I think for the first time in my life, I've realized that what makes me excited is to see restoration in families and in children.
Sure.
Especially, it's so much easier to raise a child with confidence and make a child whole than to fix a broken person.
Yeah.
So,
And that's your role. That's where you are, just encouraging a community with living, imparting health, imparting spiritual goodness into them.
But you can really only give what you've walked. So for me, it's been taking me to roads, but I'm very, very grateful.
Sure.
And also me as a person self, to get restoration for who I am and what I was made for, and who I am to be for everyone else.
Yeah.
That's part of the journey.
Okay, you see why I've asked her to be on this video today. Marijke, tell us, just if to just off the top of your head think of one of the most exciting testimonies or just the story of victory that you've experienced recently or in a long period of time.
Where do I start? I experience that on a daily basis.
Wow, that's encouraging. You get to see it, though.
I get to see it. For me, because I'm so personally involved, I feel like I get nowhere. But when I look back, basically the greatest victory that I've experienced is the restoration in my identity.
Sure, that's big.
And so an event that comes to mind was when I was baptized when Ava was 1 year old. And then obviously for me, a big victory time was when I did the Vantage course.
Wow.
There was a big shift in my mindset when I did that.
Wow.
And And then obviously starting Liefness Vote, and the big thing that God has done for me there. Like I say, do you have time?
Well, tell me about, just if we go to Liefness Vote and just starting up, taking that step of faith. How did you know this is what you were supposed to do?
I really didn't know. I think God knew.
Yes.
I basically just wanted to do something so that I can give my husband to help with the income.
Yeah.
So I started at home as a play group, and soon it became, 3 children, and then 6, and then on 12, I was already basically legal.
Yeah.
So I got an opportunity to go to a bigger
Venue. Yeah.
And a lot of times I'm thinking, God, why did I land here? And why did I land here in such a way? Because, at the end of the day, we landed there, and I opened a preschool, and we moved from 12 to 45 in like 3 months.
Wow. Yeah,
We had some struggles there with a partner, and unfortunately we found out that they illegally rented to us.
Goodness. And that was what happened actually now. It came out recent. That was the...
No, that actually happened 3 years ago.
Wow, okay.
So we went through a struggle where the partnership didn't go well.
Okay.
We ended up in court.
Oh, goodness.
But in that time, the whole time, God, when I prayed, He said, trust me, with my right hand, I'm going to save you.
Wow.
But nothing in the natural.
So wait, say that again. Trust me, with my right hand,
I will save you.
Okay.
So Isaiah 40, 41, 42, 43 feels like it was written for Marijke.
Wow.
And
wow.
But the challenge was to trust Him, and that's where my journey actually started, because nothing in the natural was looking like God was going to save me.
Yeah.
So the people who owned the property, through all that stuff with the court, knew about me. So I phoned them and said, where should we go? Because the roof had termites in.
Oh, goodness.
So we had to evacuate. And I'm like, where am I going?
Yeah.
And I phoned the people who owned the property, and they were like, but ma'am, who are you? And I'm like, excuse me?
And you weren't on that?
No. But so a big lesson I learned there is, in business, always have everything above board. Yeah. That was a big lesson that I learned. Do not just trust someone because... And it's hard for me because, I think I trust very easily, but also not. The person that I need to trust is God, and I don't trust Him, but I trust people easily. How strange is that?
Yeah, well, isn't it so for many of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2.5 years, we went to see them and asked if we could get the rental agreement and from them. And so for 2.5 years, the lawyers went to and fro, no agreement. So this year, in January, they actually sent us a letter to say that...
okay, so just tell me, this has been now 3 years ago already. So this is 2 years.
For 2.5 years, we've been trying to get agreement.
This battle almost, actually. Yeah. Okay, sure.
And
sure.
Then their lawyers will write a letter, and then we would say, but we can't have, they don't want to give us a permanent rental contract.
Yeah.
So it's been this to and fro. And then my father-in-law, who was doing my things for me for free, he was acting as my lawyer.
Yes.
He said, start paying 5,000 Rand just out of good faith to show them, because they demanded that we pay 260,000 Rand backdated since I was there with the other people.
Oh my goodness. Let's just stop at that moment. When you found out that this was the X amount that you had to pay. Now, they gave you a due date to have that paid, right? Or
so, and then,
what did you go through? Tell us, just like, what were you thinking?
Fearful, very fearful. God, extremely fearful.
Where was God?
What is going? And then when I was praying, God said, trust me, I'm going to make a way.
Wow.
And for 2 years, in my books that I've written, that is the only thing that He's told me.
Trust me.
Trust me. I remember
With my right hand, I will save
I
you.
will save you.
Sure.
In January, then they said, this is now the end. I must be off the property
Oh, my goodness.
in 2 months. I've overstayed my welcome.
And just to come back, were you depending on this? Was it ever an option for you to just let go and say, walk away from it all? Say,
No, I was
close
waiting
the
for
school.
God to make a way.
Yeah, because he said he would.
He said he would, but
Okay.
nothing.
And that's encouraging. That's what I want us to hear.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can settle for the easy way out is to close down and say, I've had enough.
Yeah,
I've had enough.
because that was what the outside voices was telling me.
Exactly.
And
you had a promise.
I had a promise, and unfortunately, or very fortunately, I've walked a road where I really hear God clearly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've walked a path where I can...
You can discern.
I can discern, and I hear His voice.
Yeah.
Literally like speaking to me.
Yeah.
So for 1 month, I tried to find another premises, and I couldn't, and the clock was ticking. So I had to call a meeting with my parents. It was like the writings on the wall. Now I got to get ahead of this, because now it's getting a legal
Your parents
thing.
being your school parents.
Yes, because we are in contracts, and I have to give them enough time to give notice if necessary.
Yes.
So I remember so clearly we had a school meeting, and it was such a surprise to me when my parents said, listen, we go where you go.
Wow.
I thought they were going to
Wow.
I was so
Point
overwhelmed.
Fingers. Wow,
yes.
Marijke, that's incredible.
And being, vulnerable and feeling hot in my face because I'm here. It seems like I'm sponging on someone and I'm taking them for a ride, and that's not how it happened.
Not how they judged you at all.
And they came and said, listen, let's make a plan.
Wow. And just to stop there, do you think perhaps that was part of God's plan? To just show you His kindness through people and
He's been doing
and
that
teach
a
you
lot.
something there, because we often judge ourselves and we think others judge us accordingly in the same way. But He's saying God judges us righteous and pure of heart, and He's showing you these people around you that see you in that same light and they see that God in you.
I never knew that because I'm very hard on myself.
Yes.
I'm very hard on myself. So that was a surprise.
Sure.
And also for me to hear God say good things about me was part of the restoration of my identity. Because I could not, He could say it about you, but not about me.
Sure, that's incredible.
Then we started looking for other premises, but unfortunately, there was no way in my personal capacity that I could go and make a loan or do anything. And in the beginning, when I started this school, God said to me, if you can trust me and not make your own plans, your money is going to come.
Wow.
So that was a big mind shift, because we grew up, if you have a problem, you go to the bank, you make a loan, you make another loan, and another loan.
And isn't that how we all have started up?
So in this whole process, there was times where I had to trust God for daily provision, and so the more we looked for a place to move the school, the more confused I got.
Sure.
So the Wednesday evening I came to worship, and I had an amazing encounter with the Holy Spirit, and God's Spirit came on me, and in that moment God said to me, I remember it so clearly, it was a very vivid, I don't think I'll ever forget it. And God said to me, I said to you, I will trust you. Receive now the strength and power so that you can walk in that in which I have called you for.
Wow. Boom. Yeah.
So that next morning...
Doesn't get clearer than that, right?
No.
Doesn't get clearer. No.
So that morning, shaking, standing there on the playground, I typed a message for my parents, and I said, you know what? In the 3 years of walking this extremely difficult road, I have learned that being obedient is the best thing for anyone.
Absolutely.
And I hear God, and God is saying, I must trust Him. We are going to stay.
Wow.
So I'm giving my
Wow.
parents the opportunity now
Yeah.
to give notice on Saturday if that is what your heart is needing.
Wow.
And I'm inviting those who want to take this step of faith with me. I remember I ended the message in saying, it is time to have faith like potatoes, people.
Wow. Wow.
And I was shaking so bad. So
Oh
one
my
of our
God.
parents actually worked for a lawyer's company, a firm, and they phoned me after that message and said, listen, they are going to try and see if they can get us a contract,
Wow.
pro bono.
Yes.
That was Thursday. Friday morning we had a contract
Yeah.
written.
Favor.
But we had to pay
Yes.
the 230,000 before the 31st of March, the end of the month.
Right. Yeah. What was the time span? How many weeks? Was that a week?
4
2
weeks.
4 weeks.
Yeah. So she asked me, what must I do? I said, take it. We'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
She said, what about the money? I said, I don't know, but God will make a way.
Yeah. Like
And, you know,
Yeah.
for some people, it seemed that I was unwise because now I'm taking on this debt where I could walk away. I could make myself insolvent.
And were you ever thinking, I'm being reckless, I'm being reckless? Did you have those thoughts?
No. I was like,
That's why unwavering faith.
No.
Here it is.
I
on display.
remember when I got that email,
Wow.
I stood in that playground and I shouted so loud. All my
Wow.
staff came out and I said, we got a contract, we got a contract. And they were
Wow.
all just like,
And it's made out to listeners or Marijke.
well, we had a option for a contract.
Okay.
Should we take it?
Okay.
So I said, yes, take it. What about
Yeah.
the money? I said, I don't know, but
God
God
will
will sort
provide.
it
Yeah.
out. So we had to pay the money. So we organized with our parents. Would they be able to make a small raise to the school fees? Because when I made the sum, you know, I realized that from the 5,000 that we were paying to 11,500,
Yeah.
it was a big jump.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
they were on board.
they were on board. We paid the first 11,500. And then I realized, listen, every contract needs a deposit. You said we are going to stay. We got a contract. And we have to pay the deposit. But God, you know what's going on in my bank account.
Yeah.
So that evening, a mother came in and she said, listen, did you pay a deposit? I said, no. I sent out my request for funds, but it's not been paid yet.
Yeah.
You know, waiting for... And she
Your
said,
heavenly request.
Yeah. Approval for payment.
Yeah.
And she said, you know what? We felt we wanted to pay that for you.
Wow. Wow. And that's big.
That was big.
Oh,
And then came the water bill.
Okay.
That was taken care of.
Oh, wow.
That was taken care of.
Wow.
So we made a backup buddy. We made a backup buddy.
Yes.
People gave donations, 10,000 rand.
Wow.
And I think we got another 10,000 rand donations in our personal bank account.
Sure.
And
Sure.
then it started getting real because it was like
Sure.
I think the 15th of somewhere in the month, that 200,000 was hanging on my shoulders. And
because you still had to pay that, right?
I had to pay that
yes,
for the
backlog,
contract to
be
so they
valid.
they could still
valid.
cancel the contract.
I understand. Okay.
So I got wonderful mothers that was like emailing warriors to this company and that company. And then one mother came and she said, you know what? She was so moved she has given up on God and Jesus. And by seeing the way that I worship God, and it's so real for her, it has ignited a fire in her to have hope again.
Yo, Marijke.
And
That's
they wanted to offer us the 200,000 as a, like, not a loan, but just we have to pay it back by a certain time.
Yeah.
Just to take the pressure off, because how do you raise 230,000 in 1 month?
Yeah. Without running to the bank.
And friends were saying, listen, what's your problem? You can get it easy at the bank, 6,000 rand, what's your problem?
But what did God say?
God say no.
Exactly.
No own plans, no loans.
You kept standing on that word.
So they paid that, and then there was 15,000 rand left that we had to pay. So 5 o'clock the night before we had to pay it, I was sitting in my car and I was crying. I was bawling.
You've come so far.
I'm like, Lord, have you forgotten me? You promised you're going to do something for me. If you let me down, you are going to be embarrassed, not me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, because his name has been...
I stood up for you. I took a bold step of faith for you. How can you let me down now?
Yeah. Very bold step.
And I've put in everything on the line. I mean, my family, my marriage, everything was suffering because of this school of mine.
Yeah.
So I was locking the school, and then I was speaking to a parent, and one mother phoned, and she says, check your email. I'm like, no, I'm busy with the parent. She says, no, leave the parent, check your email. So carrying daisies, like 10 to 6, paid 15,000 rand for us.
In that, like there.
10 to 6.
Wow, Marijke.
10 to 6.
That is incredible. That is incredible. Like, if you're not believing at this point in time, then you're silly. I want to stop here. What I keep thinking of is how, like you said, God has taken you on a journey, but what is so obvious is actually how He's taken this whole community on a journey. And if you know us and if you're familiar with this community, it's really a community that needs breakthrough in this. Like, God is real and God is extravagant, or God is good. He's not always extravagant when you think He's gonna, in the way that you anticipate. But you have just through one person's faith influenced an entire community's faith.
I realized that was not just for me.
No.
And obviously,
but you needed to walk the road. It ended up on your shoulders. You had to carry it.
It's not all roses and moonshine.
No.
I mean, I've lost parents.
Yeah.
And there's people that has taken their children out because it feels like I'm irresponsible. But God has been so good to me that I am too far in to go back. And I am not. You cannot convince me anymore.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
It's like he's not. His power is at work.
And His eye is on me, and something greater than me. Because the one day He said to me, "What would you like?" And I said, "I would like this place to be mine." And He told me, He said, "You're thinking too small."
Wow.
I'm like, what?
I only have capacity for this right now.
But He knows. It takes us
step by step.
Yeah,
sure.
So, So what I've realized in this big mess is He's taking me through this because I realized that I was trying to do charity work with a business that was not making enough money, and that there has to be a division between the two.
Sure.
So
important lesson.
I had I've written the NPO. The name is Liefnes Hart.
Yes.
You know, I had a vision in this church when we joined, where God was showing me all these people with grey clothes.
Sure.
And I'm waving colour, and I've got a rainbow slide and saying, come. Wow. And then when they climb up the slide and they slide down, when they get at the bottom, the hearts are whole.
Wow.
So I think the school is the starting point.
Sure.
I think God has got something greater for the community, for me, because my heart is so to let His kingdom be established, because I see how good He is to me and how I'm not getting everything right every day, and there are still a lot of personal struggles.
Yeah.
So now the story of Elijah is actually so real for me, because the one day he's running in front of the horses and it's so great.
Yes.
And the next day he's hiding in the cave, crying and wanting to die.
Yeah.
It's literally the way my life is.
Sure.
One day I'm like experiencing God on such a big level.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. And then the next day I'm like, oh, you're even still here. And then I feel so condemned and I realize, but who am I to question God? And I think so much about Job and that piece where God says, were you there when I measured the waves, where the ocean can only come this side? And
he's been there all along. We don't understand what he's doing in the background and working behind this. Obviously all his work is behind the scenes, but what he's orchestrating when we're not aware of what he's doing, he's so much greater. He's so much bigger than our process here. Wow. Marijke, so what I'm hearing is you saying some days you're up there, it's victory, it's big, it's loud, it's I'm running with the horses, and other days, you just feel overwhelmed. What stays constant? What is that anchor that you go back to?
That He loves me. That He loves me.
And that's constant.
That He loves me.
That's all.
And obviously also Jacob 1, render all trials and tribulations as great joy. And I'm like, Lord, it's not great joy for me yet, but bring me at a place where it will be
and where
great
I can welcome it almost, right?
Where I can say, listen,
bring it on.
What a privilege to have trials and tribulations.
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm getting to know God in a way that I would have never known Him if I had it easy. And I'm not saying that God is, you need to go through destruction to know God.
No, but what I would just see in this whole thing is, you've gone through challenge upon challenge, and that was actually just something I thought about before we spoke. The challenge upon challenge. Often you think you've just conquered a hill. You've just walked up this hill. And then you look up and then you realize, but this hill is really a lot bigger than I anticipated. And just not sinking back and saying, I'd rather go back down to the bottom and just forget about this hill altogether, but walking forward. And if it's not for that, if it's not for the fight, if it's not for the challenge, people won't see it. People won't know it. They won't understand it. But you've had this opportunity to make an impact on a community through opening up, through letting them see, hey, we are climbing a mountain here. Are you on board? And just bringing them in part of the journey, so that they can experience the victory, so that they can experience God's power, God's miraculous hand in all of it.
One time before all of this started, I said to God, what do you want from me? And God said, I have given you the gift of great faith. And I'm like, Lord, it feels to me some days I don't even have mustard faith. What about great faith? And He led me to this guy in the 1920s, George Miller, that raised these orphanages. And I got a lot of inspiration and things from George, where he contended for things, for needs, but he never told anyone. It was between him and God.
Sure.
And there are so many times where I have things that I'm contending for. And to get into a space where I don't manipulate someone, because we can easily do that. But waiting.
And ask out of your own strength. I'm just thinking about you speaking about faith like a mustard seed. And I remember we spoke about it in church just a couple of weeks ago. A seed is something that has it carries generational produce and fruit, and we might plant a seed of faith in someone's life, in the kids' life around us, the parents that we have. Our little bit of faith might seem small. Our one step of faith today might seem small, but you're planting a seed. Like, why did Jesus liken faith to a seed? Because a seed carries the potential to change lives, the potential to bear fruit of faith in others' lives. And that's what causes mountains to be thrown into the sea. And it's so encouraging to just think of it that way. If I take one step of faith today, what are the effects? What are the fruit, the generational fruit that it can bear? And if you step back and look in this journey, think of all the seeds of faith along the way, along every trial, in every prayer, in every battle that had a victory, along every step of the journey. There's been just this sowing of seeds of faith that will move a community.
And I've become more bold in my conversations with God, and now I'm like demanding. That's,
wow.
No, but
say to this mountain.
And for the fruit or the things that have been stolen to be given back, and to take back the authority and to take back the territory.
Exactly.
And not to just stand back and say,
okay,
sorry.
Listen, so if there is one thing that you can encourage us as a community of ladies, like, just listen to your story. I invited you here because we acknowledge just that which the Lord's called you. I've given you the capacity or the ability to have great faith. I see that without you ever even saying it, without ever even acknowledging or broadcasting that. I know, when I think of Marijke, I think women of faith. But I know you don't want to hear that, and I know you don't want to take the praise for that. But you know what? Encourage us. Tell someone, what is one thing that we can, or that someone can, that struggles with faith? What is that something that they can start applying in their lives, or doing something that they can take with them?
For me, the journey was God was convincing me that I'm having great faith.
Sure. Yeah.
He had to show me that what he has put inside of me is already there.
Yeah.
He sees it. I didn't see it. So, I'm not keen to say, Marijke, warrior of great faith.
I know
because
that.
my moments feel a lot like
because tomorrow you
Elijah under the tree
in a cave again.
And then I must check myself to not be condemning myself because I can't get this right and I'm not doing. Because that's part of one of the lies that the enemy tries to keep me down, is that I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I'm not worthy enough, I'm small.
Right.
So for me, I think if I can encourage anyone in my journey, the only opinion that matters is the one that God has spoken over you before he's created you.
Wow.
And to be open and to ask God, but what do you think about me? What do you say about me? And Marijke is derived from Mara and Maria and Mary.
All the
all the MMs. That is the place where God has made the water sweet.
Exactly.
So when we are having a special time, or he speaks to me, the way that I know he speaks to me is he's calling me his sweet girl.
Wow.
And for a long time, I cried. I couldn't accept that he would think, the creator of the universe would think such things about me.
Sure.
Ask God what he says about you.
Yeah.
That is great encouragement. And then the only voice that matters, because people, came through loved ones.
Through care and concern that might seem genuine, which makes it even more confusing.
Because, do you really hear the God? Do you hear the Lord? Do you really think you are so special that you hear the Lord?
Sure. Lies.
Lies. But the only opinion that matters is God's. And then
that's good.
The thing that really I realized is that I'm a worshiper. I like to sing and to be free like children in the Lord's presence. And I realized that worship really has got nothing to do with singing songs.
Yeah.
And the purest form of worship is obedience.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's great. That's good.
That's full stop. That's my life story.
Obedience. Listen, I'd rather walk in obedience than be outside of the Lord's will, because I know inside of His will, all things work out for those, for the good of those, and
Who love
yeah, for our good. God is for us. He wants what is good for us, and He knows how to bring that into our lives.
Yeah.
So, Marijke, just thank you so much for just sharing your story. Really appreciate it. And I hope we can be encouraged by that today. Walking in obedience, walking in faith, walking and standing and relying on the promises of God is not always glamorous.
No.
It's not easy, but the reward of the journey is so far greater than we could ever imagine. And I mean, you thought it was for yourself only, but it's changed so many lives around you, and it will still have effects. And
sometimes, having a promise is not receiving it immediately.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like now,
You gotta walk it out.
He's fathering me through every
Yeah.
single day.
Yeah.
And I actually feel so loved in spite of all the trials and in spite of all the things, because
Isn't that
I'm
amazing?
beginning to see that His eye is really on me, and He hears me, He sees me, and He loves me.
Sure.
And there is a great purpose for my life. And
Absolutely. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
no,
Yeah. That's what winning is about.
Yeah.
And we just believe that by surrendering to God, living in obedience, walking in faith, that is truly how we win.
Yeah.
So ladies, let's win. Today
You can do it.
together and in the Lord's will, and walking in obedience and in His amazing deep, deep love.
Yeah, He loves all of us so much.
We trust this has blessed you. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you, Parati.
Pleasure.
Okay.